Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you for stepping into the factory with me. Now listen, I know we have all these things that we planned out and we have all these resolutions in the new year of 2019. Happy New Year, by the way. The truth of the matter is this, is that in many areas of what we're called to do, sometimes, just sometimes, we may struggle with comparison. What does comparison look like? Looking over your shoulder, scrolling on social media to see what somebody else is doing, scrolling on social media to see what somebody else is doing and that may look like what you're doing. When you're competitive, it leads to competition. And you ever wonder why you're so competitive? Maybe it's because that you're always comparing what you're doing, what your lane is, to somebody else. You ever thought about the fact that maybe you're comparing something to something else that you're probably not called to in the first place? Comparing yourself to somebody that honestly they can't do what you do, and quite frankly you can't do what they do either. All that by saying this, comparison really leads to three main things. Number one, laziness. Leads to you being lazy. Why? Because if I get so caught up in focusing on what you're doing, then I spend time looking at you and not really analyzing myself, not really evaluating myself and giving me the space and time to actually do the very things that God has called me to do. When you struggle with comparison, you slow down. Why do you spend time on pushing somebody else's down when you could be building yourself up? And really, the only thing that God wants is for you to focus on what you're doing and what your craft is. And too many times, we fail often at actually analyzing ourselves and building ourselves up. When we have strategy for ourselves, then we don't have time to focus on everybody else's strategy. Number two, jealousy. You have jealousy, 9 times out of 10, you don't really have good community. When you're trying to get things going with your purpose and your process, and when you realize that you need help, you need a team, maybe you need to check your heart and maybe check if you have jealousy or not. When you have jealousy, it ruins the opportunity to build relationships that you need, that is necessary for what you're doing. And when you think about it, when you have jealousy in your heart, you have no room for anything else. Number three, mistrust. When you are comparing left and right, looking over your shoulder, wondering who's going to one-up you, wondering who's doing what instead of what you're doing, you miss the opportunity to trust people and love on people with your craft and with what you do. One of the goals that we should have as creatives is that whatever we are doing, at the end of the day, one of the things that we need to have is trust. Not just trust within ourselves, but trust with people. When you compare, trust me, when you don't defeat comparison, you end up losing the opportunity to trust people. To not just trust people because they're just people, but trust people because really it's commanded to. In the Bible, more specifically in Philippians, it talks about how we don't do anything in rivalry or conceit, but instead you do everything in humility. And you treat others more significant than yourselves. Whoa. We don't consider the cost or count the true meaning of what you're doing and who's around you, then you'll never ever put honor on other people. You will never actually genuinely love other creatives and other gifted people. Let's face it, we're all gifted, we're all creative, and we're all designed to do something that God has called us to do. At the end of the day, we are called to different streams, different lanes. It doesn't matter if somebody else is doing the same thing as me, has the same light in front of their face just like me, got the same, motivational poster thing, whatever this is. We can fake it if we want to. In those times where we feel like we are struggling, we're comparing so much and we're comparing our craft to somebody else's craft. We're the ones that's not going to reach the very thing that God has called us to do creatively. But be encouraged. We're all gifted. We all have different lanes. It doesn't matter if you have the same craft as me or if I have the same craft as you. At the end of the day, you have your separate journey to walk in, and I encourage you to enjoy your process, enjoy your lane, enjoy your journey, enjoy your craft. The beauty of fulfilling the very thing that God has called you to do is that we're able to celebrate each other, honor each other, love on each other, and build with one another as we focus in 2019. Push past the comparison, push past the urge to feel like you have to scroll on social media and check on somebody else to see if they're doing better than you. So what if they're doing better than you? They don't have what God is trying to give you. Stay blessed, stay in your craft, follow your lane, and let's be in this together. Peace.